Oh, okay, okay. Um, you guys should hear me. Okay, okay, okay. That's brilliant. And welcome back to another round of HRL. And today we take the green forest of Belgium in the Ardennes forests. Apologies if my voice is a little low tonight. I have to stay quiet, but that's besides the point. A special thank you to Hedge, who allowed me to commentate. And if you're unaware, I'm Curity Liam Carrick, go by many aliases, most notably now, today, CRL Stroll, as I, well, make maybe a return to league racing, but again, besides the point. Currently I'm the voice of CRL Tier 3, Tier 4, my bad. And to be honest, it'll be a pleasure commentating people from across the skill board. Just as a side note, Oriel Euron, will only be able to set an outlap to confirm his setup. So we won't see him on pole. Question is, who will we see on pole? You have very fast drivers in the forms of Joshua Evans or Evans Joshua. KXI as well, known for his rapid pace. Oriel Knight, who is also a CRL Tier 1 driver. Don't count out the two owners of CRL, Nathan JB and AJ Wuhan. But to be honest, my money is on Jay Lawler. I think it'd be very interesting, as Oriel Euron has joined in possibly the worst time for him. And I believe this Red Bull is the first one out on track, so Belgium, I have very mixed feelings about it. It's, in real life, home to one of the most iconic races, some of the most iconic races in recent F1 history. If we think back to 2019, we have the first time winner in the form of Charles Leclerc after the tragic passing of his French compatriot Antoine Hubert, or you had the iconic hot lap set by Lewis Hamilton in possibly one of the greatest cars, if not the greatest car, the Mercedes W10. Or we had iconic moves such as Kimi Raikkonen going through Eau Rouge and onto the Camel Straight, covered in fog but keeping the foot down, or Mika Hakkinen versus Michael Schumacher when Ricardo Zonta was in the way and Mika took off track to overtake the man myth legend, the Michael. Will we see any of these moves tonight? Obviously we won't see us blowing up car, but it'll be nice to see something elegant. As I ride on board now with Cyril AJ Wuhan to begin his lap, braking at the 100-meter board, locks up slightly but gets a really good exit, keeping it tight on the apex as we go down now, down to Eau Rouge. How will he take it? He'll take it fairly tight, gets a little bit of understeer but goes out wide, minimizing track distance as we head down now to the Camel Straight at almost 340 kilometers an hour as we just touch it, setting the fastest lap in the process, obviously the first one out on track. As we head through, I think this is No Name. Oh no, the next corner is No Name. And he takes that well, gets on the curb, doesn't take the esports line, the green bits on the outside. As we approach Puyon now, down one gear, back on the power. Gotta be very careful through that section not to lose the car. And coming through the right-left almost chicane. Takes it beautifully, no sign of stability issues as AJ Wuhan drops it to third gear And up to 6 now as he begins the third sector. AJ Wuhan through pretty much the entirety flat out sector 3. So we head through the famous section where Kimi Raikkonen iconically bottled in rain under a safety car in 2007. But AJ Wuhan now first across the line. He'll set a 1:43.8, and there will be a Haas of Christophe who sets a 44.9. Another car in the form of the Ferrari beginning his lap, so he won't be the next one to set a lap. I think no, not Riordan. It'll be KXI who will be second to set a lap, and it will be a 44.3. Oh, bad lap time. I'll ride on board with Riordan, also known as Jerry to most of you. Underdog, I would say. In for a chance of good points today if he keeps it clean, keeps it steady. But obviously that's a given. I just realised he's invalidated, so we'll not stick on board with him. I'll stick on board with Joshua Evans as he goes out wide. Doesn't pick up an invalidation as we head through No Name. I'll decide that's No Name. Through the iconic left-hander, goes out wide. Extremely wide, doesn't take up an invalidation, so if anyone's feeling petty enough, there we are, fair enough. Jay Lawler coming in second, 2/10 behind AJ Wuhan, and Ariel Knight very close to Jay Lawler, again a 44.0 from him. CJ Keane in the Alfa Romeo, paired with Oriel Yaron tonight, strong pairing between Keane and Yaron. As he opens DRS now, going up the Camel Straight. Yes, I said up. There's a slight elevation change going upwards in the Camel Straight for you guys that don't know. As he understeers through the next set of corners. He'll go down to No Name, no sign of a lockup. And gets a really nice exit coming into the next set of corners. How will he take poo on? Drops a gear, drops 2 gears and gets on the power, trying to be very safe with it. Of course, it's only the start of qualifying. You can't take it. You can't take much risks right now. As we see the beautiful Alfa Romeo alternating corners. It's very beautiful, I might add. Probably one of the most beautiful cars on the grid. But I digress, as CJ Keane is beginning the third sector now. Closing in at about 310 kilometers an hour. And by the end of the straight at 315, 16 even, as he brakes hard at the 100 meter board. Takes the chicane pretty well. No sign of struggle there, and CJ Keane will put a 47.0. Obviously a very safe lap. I do expect a bit of a faster lap time later on in the session. Riding board with Jack Pretty with the Ferrari as he spins. Unfortunate for the Ferrari driver, but that is what we come to expect from a Ferrari car. AFL, one of the drivers I commentate over in HRL TF4, currently leading, I think, in HRL TF4. So I'll be right back. Apologies for that, folks. I'm now back. I was riding on board with Hobbsy. We'll stick on board with him now, as he's rocking the number 19. So did Felipe Massa back in 2014 up until 2017 during his stint at the iconic Williams team. Hobbsy set in the fastest Sector 1, so showing his mighty prowess right now in the AlphaTauri as he goes slightly wide and invalidates his lap time. So clearly he's taking it a bit too aggressive, just trying to gain as much time through the corners as possible. I think it's AJ Wuhan's now out. I think it's best if we watch him as too, as he's taking his second lap now. The number 25 in the Red Bull takes the next set of corners really well, doesn't take the esports line, gets on the grass a little bit, will compromise his entrance to Pruhan as he drops a gear, gets back on the power quickly as Coxey retires through the right-left intersection. So AJ Wuhan will have to be careful. Doesn't seem to be too distracted now as he breaks on the curb now, as he nails the next set of corners, 5/10 up on his time. So obviously he's got a lot to improve, he's got a lot to answer with, but just watch out as Jay Lawler might be in for a chance at pole, or maybe Oriel Knight, we'll have to see. But AJ Wuhan now, he's going to brake hard at the 100 meter board as Cyril A. Nathan JB sets pole with a 43.0. Can his brother AJ Wuhan answer with anything? Will he? He cannot at the moment. 2/10 down on his brother with a 43.2. Cyril Nathan JB setting a 43.0. Also riding board with Knight now, who's almost a 10th up in the AlphaTauri, of course. Iconic graphics designer in the league racing community. Created a beautiful Monza poster, as he posted on Twitter. As Knight now takes Poo pretty nicely, getting on the power quickly as Knight now approaches the right-left intersection. Takes it pretty well, takes it pretty safe in my opinion, a bit too safe maybe, as he gets on the power quickly, 2/10 up on his time. Can he gain time through here? It'll be a tough ask, obviously. You cannot gain 6/10 here. But how much time can he gain through the chicane? Did he ball it on his lap? We do not know. But on this lap, we will know as we will finish his lap riding on board with him. He goes deep into the first set of chicane, first corner in the chicane. As Oriel Knight, he comes third with a 43.8. Not a bad lap time. I didn't miss out Christopher in the Haas setting a 43.8 as well, so very, very level in terms of pace at the moment. Zero Real DC, he's on a lap, he's 2/10 up. Can he answer with anything on this lap? 5 minutes remaining in this session, so time is running up quick, and it has gone quickly, might I say, today. But Real DC now, he'll take the next set of chicanes pretty nicely, gets in fourth gear, trying to minimize wheel spin. As Real DC now, he'll set a 43.9. Not a bad lap time from the Englishman. Now Jay Lawler, formerly second at the start of qualifying. What can he answer with? He comes in third with 43.3. Honestly, a very good lap time set by him. AFL now, tier 4 man in HRL. Possibly one of my favourite drivers, whom I'm rooting for, as he's not turned on his ERS, so we see that much. Mark Wilson, Manmouth Legend, and his missus Danielle Brewers, who is a regular in HRL tier 4. I don't have my comments open right now, but yeah, we have Danielle Brewers in the show, of course. Your own, what is he doing? Oh, he's out. I see, he's getting in practice. He's getting in practice, but not setting a lap. Very clever from Jeroen. So, well, riding board with Jeroen oh no, he's an iconic driver in the league racing community. Oh, Jeroen's coming into the pits. Okay, riding board with ooh, Franco gets really hairy coming out the corner. As no points there. Well, riding on board with him. Evans Joshua yet to set a lap. Invalidated twice already, so struggles from the Ferrari pit crew isn't doing them justice. As it's coming down now to the final stages of this qualifying session, it'll be close between the top three, I think. We should consider Nathan being on pole. Well, I'm not sure yet. Oriel Evans Joshua, or Evans Joshua, whatever alias he wants to be known as. He'll come through Kemmel Straight now, DRS wide open, running in about 340 kilometers an hour before we hit the end of the straight. He'll set the fastest sector 1 as he takes the next set of corners so beautifully on the limit. Will he go wide through Bruxelles as he has to get onto grass to try and avoid the Mercedes driver? That'll definitely compromise his lap, but we're still riding board with Evans having to go wide due to the understeer created from the grass. Having to go wide, he drops it a few gears. Trupuan trying to keep the car on the track. Takes the next set of corners beautifully as he's short shifting now. It's just a 1:15 split, not the best from him, but obviously was compromised by one of the drivers that were in the way as he's approaching the end of this lap. If I was Evans, I would not be happy at all, but he still has another lap to continue. Will he continue? Yes, he will. So I won't ride on board with him. I'll ride on board with Christopher, who's a few marginally down on his time. As Christopher approaching the next few corners keeps the Haas on track. Fairly beautiful, fairly textbook. As Christopher now gets on the curb, drops it down a gear. Trupu on the corner, on the limit, and puts down the power nicely as we approach the hardest bit of the track now. Oh, unlucky for Evans. I think he's been there coming up Eau Rouge, possibly a bit of racing in anger, shall we say. But let's not focus on that now. We'll focus on Christopher, who's now approaching the final set of corners. You'll have to brake hard and you'll have to hit the apex nicely to maximize time. Takes the chicane beautifully, coming out in second gear, 4th, 5th, 6th. He'll set at 1:43.6, 2 tanks up on his time. Will it be enough to keep fourth? I don't think so, but we'll ride on board with Jay Lawler now, who's third currently. Actually, I think it's better off if we spectate Nathan, as he's set a fastest sector 1, 33 thousandths up on his time. So clearly has a lot of pace to answer with. The number 7 Williams coming through the second sector now. Keeps it on track, keeps it clean. The line abuser. Will he take Pullman nicely? He'll drop a gear, he'll get on the power nicely. He invalidates. So that will be the end of Nathan JB's run. Can his brother answer anything? AJ Wuhan now approaching the next set of corners. Through No Name we go, and through the left-hander, very hard off camber the corner as he drops it down a gear, 2 gears even, to try and keep the car on track. His fuel light is blinking. He's running definitely the lowest set of fuel you can as he takes the next set of corners beautifully. As he's approaching slow cars, as he's a tenth and a half up on his time, not enough to get pole yet. Or not enough to get pole yet. Yeah, I think that's the best term to describe it right now. Oriel Knight finishes his lap with 43.5. Not a bad lap time from the Canadian. As we see Zero AJ Wuhan now. Will he get pole off his brother? He will not. He is only a tenth and just under 1.5 tenths up. So he'll be disappointed, but again, you still have an entire race to go through. As we end a hectic quali. Not a bad quali, might I add. It's definitely an interesting grid as we have the Booth brothers on pole and in second. Jay Lawler comes in third for the Mercedes, 2 tenths down on the time. Oriel Knight comes in fourth, fifth. Real DC 6th, Christopher 7th, KXI 8th, Evans Joshua, a lot to be desired. Riordan comes in 9th, 10th, Jack Priddy 11th, Vipers Ken 12th, CJ Keane 13th, AFL 14th, Mark Wilson, M. Hobbsy comes in 15th, CRL Freefall, DNFing from the session comes in 16th, 17th Hedge, and 18th Coxey, 19th Euron, and 20th Franco. And DSQ'd was Franco, and Coxey and Yaron did not set a lap. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching and if you're still active on stream, predictions? I'd love to hear your predictions. As we admire the loading screen, the Ardennes Forest, located in Belgium. Possibly one of the grandest sights you could see from up the sky. As we're looking Eau Rouge now, as we load into the session. Ooh, cloudy. Will there be a chance of rain? I hope not. For my sake and for my sanity. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at a fine grid tonight. As we'll take a look at the race director, see who will start on the hards. And no surprise there, Yaron is gone on the hards. As we know, Yaron, I've battled him last game, and he is one of the best improving drivers right now. I would say a massive esports team is yet to pick him up. I think Yaron has the capability to become esports potential in the near future, in the distant future. We also have iconic names in league racing. Nathan JB, owner of HRL, of course, along with his brother AJ Wuhan. Oriel Knight, goated graphics designer. You should check him out on Twitter. Nick Packin, I believe. As we get underway now for the formation lap. Beautiful sight, to be honest, to look at all the cars just weaving before the chaos. The calm before the storm. As we look at the cars weave through the first sector, Nathan JB taking it to the max, showing us what it means to weave. As his brother will be looking to try and take the win off his older one. Hungry for the win tonight. Jay Lawler in third. Unexpected, to be honest, but I did predict that he might get on pole. He was 2 places off, so -2 for me. Oriel Knight comes in fourth. We'll be expecting a lot from him. Maybe he can be the underdog in this whole race. Real DC. Surprise qualifier. I did not expect him to qualify so high up in the grid, but it's a pleasant surprise at the very least. Christopher, of course, iconic name in HRL. And KXI, ahead of Evans Joshua, who's, again, like I said earlier, a lot left to be desired from his quali lap. And hello, Chimp. I hope you have a grand evening. Thank you for checking in and leaving in a comment. Riordan. In the other Williams, 1 in 9th. Seems like an Alex Albon Max Verstappen duo at the moment. The dub, I don't have too much expectation from him. Jack Pretty's in 10th, Vifer Kenson 11, CJ Keenan 12, AFL 13, Mark Wilson 14, M Hobbsy in 15, 16th Freedor Freefall, 17th Hedgehog, 18th Coxie, 19th Rowan, and 20th Franco. I wanted to get everyone ran down before I start the lights go out. And as usual, and as tradition for me, I usually like to count how many people DSQ themselves during the formation of the grid slots. As we have Knight, we have number 1 to disqualify himself from the grid slot. Vipers follows Knight in the DSQ spots. And we have the rest of the cars lining up now for the grid slot. Third DNFer, or DSQer. And that will be 3 people who has DSQ'd. And now we get ready for lights out. And it's lights out and away we go. Sorry about the camera angles. AJ Wuhan gets a brilliant start and he gets shoved off wide. And Jay Lawler comes down the inside, taking the position off AJ Wuhan. They're going to go side by side. No, AJ Lawler will keep the position, but AJ Wuhan is going to attempt to go side by side through a Rouge. That's a brilliant piece of racing there, as Serial Real DC might get a chance to overtake AJ Wuhan. He's going side by side down Camel Street. Zero free fall retires. That's unfortunate for the Scotsman, as we have a spinner in the front of DC. That's unfortunate, as I think we have a VSC now. The cars seem to be stopping to dead halts. Yep, my suspicions are confirmed, as Jay Lawler gets a brilliant start. AJ Wuhan also did, but he got shoved off wide at turn 1. Unfortunate for him. Oriel Knight keeps position, as Joshua Evans already makes up 3 places. Christopher in 6th and not making any position. KXI in 7th, not making any positions either. Riordan in 8th, making 1 position. AFL in 9th. 4 positions made, as Ariel Euron coming from 19th all the way up to 10th, keeping his car clean. But VSC is now ended and is back up to the front now. Will Jay Lawler catch up to the back of Nathan JB, or will Nathan JB be able to pull away from us? As we see Nathan JB get a bit of a squabble coming out that second sector, as he's pushing Jay Lawler wide. They're going to go side by side like it's the last lap. Jay Lawler backs out for the moment, but Jay Lawler on the faster mediums, he's going to go down the inside. Will he send it? Yes, he will. They're going to go side by side. They make a little bit of contact. They're still will banging. They're going to go side by side still into turn 1 as they finish lap 1. Zero Nathan JB sets the fastest lap of a 58.2. So it's amazing racing from the 2 drivers so far. And Oriel Knight will be fighting the other Booth brother in the form of AJ Wuhan. Will he go for the move down up Camel Straight? Time will tell. But back up to the front now, as we see Jay Lawler. He's going to activate that ERS to try and get past, but so will Nathan JB. They're going to go slipstream each other, trying to make a move. And Jay Lawler, he's going to try and look for a move, trying to fill up Cyril Nathan JB's mirrors. But now Jay Lawler, Cyril, AJ Wuhan and Ariel Knight follow the top. Will sift that down to the midfield as CJ Keane is in ninth. Oh, where's your own? He must have had to pit, because that's a huge gap. But back up to the front now. Amazing lap 1 so far. That was a brilliant side-by-side racing. I'm surprised only one driver has DNF'd throughout the session. Unsurprisingly, Scott. I know I love you, buds, but I'm gonna have to say unsurprisingly, as we see a spinner in the form of AJ Wuhan losing it at the exit of sector 3, as Riordan has DNF'd. Will we see a safety car? I don't think so. Yeah, no, we do see a safety car. AJ Wuhan saved by the bell. As Riordan DNFs from the session. Unlucky. How did he DNF? He must have DNF'd coming. Yeah, okay, he must have spun and yeah, that's such an unfortunate DNF from Jerry. But it means cars will go to 40% of their speed and will follow the safety car across the start-finish straight. As the storm has seemed to calm down for just a bit, we come from level 5 storms down to level 2 as the safety car neutralizes the race. What a brilliant lap 1 and 2. It's possibly one of my best parts commentating. I did enjoy that. Nathan JB, he's done brilliantly to defend his position from Jay Lawler. Jay Lawler as well, fighting brilliantly with Zero on Nathan JB. Keeping it clean, yes, a little bit of wheel banging, but again, it's to be expected in this game. Orion Knight as well, he's gotten pretty good with his starts on keeping it clean. And Christopher making up 2 positions, so we know that Christopher is a clean and consistent driver. KXI also making up 2 positions. AFL a surprising driver. He's made up 7 positions already. Impressive for the tier 4 man. Put him up to tier 3, but I digress. CJ Keane also keeping it clean is up into 7th, 5 places up, and Zero Will DC recovering really nicely, back up to 9th after his spinner. As we see the cars now bunch up. I think biggest disappointment isn't AJ Wuhan, but Oriel Yaron for going up to 9th and back to where he pretty much started, let's be honest. So interesting scenes so far. Talk about this year's Belgian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen and his new power unit for that weekend. Man, oh man, was it something. That Red Bull power unit, or Honda power unit, however you like to see it, absolutely steaming down the grid that day, from 14th all the way to 1st, and within what, 14 laps. Obviously, we've also seen the Alpine of Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton make contact. Not the first time those two have battled it out ferociously. Jay Lawler almost colliding with Oriel Knight, and Oriel Knight almost catching the rear end of Knight. I don't think it's fair to blame any of these lads for her weaving. Of course, it's their entitled position under the safety car. Have to keep it clean, lads and ladies, remember. As we see pit stop runners, AJ Wuhan coming into the pits for the hards, and Josh Evans on the hards as well. Mark Wilson also on the hards, and Coxey on the mediums. If anyone's still there, I'd like to hello in the comments chat, or maybe a few emojis, hedgehog emojis. It'd be nice to see some support in the stream. As we're looking at the green AMR Vantage Luckily, I was able to see one in real life just today. Doing burnouts, of course, as you do. Um, so I'm sifting through the grid, trying to look for anything interesting. Right now, there isn't anything interesting, but if my suspicions are correct, Coxie is holding it up just a tiny bit, just to, you know, keep the safety car out another lap. What a unit. Seeing a Red Bull go this slowly isn't a normality. And Danielle, of course, always about supporting your man, of course. As Coxie has caught up to the end of the train now, will the safety car come in? No, it's too late. So Coxie played his cards right. Will he be able to go in for hards? It'll be a pro gamer move if he does. And I say that with hearts. Yes, I'm not embarrassed. As he cuts the pit. Okay. Cuts the pit lane entry. So Coxie absolutely taking the piss there, but you know. I'm not entirely surprised, considering he's kept the safety car out for another lap. Not sure if it's reportable, but here we are. KXI getting ahead of Christopher. Ooh, there might be complications here. Yeah, KXI will have to keep the position as Christopher cannot overtake. So KXI, I do expect him to give back the position when we go racing once again. Ah, yes, that is sportsmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, we like to see things like that. We just do. It's that's really warmed my heart up. And I think the same has been done with Knight and Lawler, unless Knight jumped him in the pits and I missed that. But safety. What's going on? How did Coxie DNF? So he pitted for hards and decided to bin it up a rouge. This is something, to say the least. Crashgate, clearly. As the safety car I expected to come in any second now at the end of this second sector. Am I correct? I will always be correct. I'm chuffed with myself. Anyways, we get to see these cars weave like madmen, trying to get temperature and energy into those tires. As Nathan, he'll become the de facto safety car, not wasting too much time. It's not slowing the grid down, so clearly keeping some sort of speed. As he gets to decide when to go. Nathan JB now. I'll ride on board with Knight. Knight, the attacking car in this instant. What will Knight do? Will Knight go for the move down Camel Straight, or will he go into turn 1? And by the looks of things, it won't be turn 1. Oh, Oh, what a curious restart. Oriel Knight lets Jay Lawler through, but I think Knight will go back for the move fairly this time, and he'll go for the move. Jay Lawler here going to go back for the switchback. Christopher makes contact with Jay Lawler. Jay Lawler now has to go side by side with Christopher. Compromised exit as he gives up the position to Christopher, thinking better about it. Down the field, what do we see? We see a lot of cars going behind each other as we see a spinning Jack Pretty into the barrier. He doesn't DNF, however, and Neron gets a massive restart, important for him and possibly his championship run if he is on one. But back up to the front now is Jay Lawler and Christopher. They go side by side, they make contact, and Christopher into the barrier. Oh my god, losing his entire front wing. He doesn't just bring out no VSC yet. As Oriel Knight now, he's gonna be all over the back of Nathan soon if he keeps attacking as is. Bear in mind he is on the faster compound tyres. Jay Lawler picks up a 3-second time penalty. Won't help his cause as KXI is just under 5/10 behind Jay Lawler. And so is Vipers Cans, as CJ Keane and Oriel Yaron are now 6th and 7th. So I expect CJ Keane not to fight his teammate too heavily, as Yaron now gets ahead of Real DC. Real DC recovering a few positions, but Oriel Evans, he's going to take the position of Hedgehog. As we see movement now between CJ Keane and Real DC, I think CJ Keane, he's braked a little bit too late on the straight, or too hard on the straight, letting the two cars go. As we'll see now, I think Joshua Evans, he'll go for the move for turn 1. Will he battle it, CJ Keane? Yes, he will. They're going to go side by side into turn 1. They're going to go... CJ Keane comes out ahead. As Joshua Evans now, is he going to chance his going side by side? Yes, he will. Yes, the daring Welshman. He'll go side by side with CJ Keane as CJ Keane backs out. And Giron has retired at the top of a Rouge. What a shocking revelation as the safety car again has to come out. What an unfortunate day for the Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman retires from the Belgian GP up a Rouge. So we don't know what happened, but that is so unfortunate for the Flying Dutchman. As once again the race comes to a halt, as we watch another agonizing 3 laps of absolute boredom. I'm sorry to say it straight, but safety cars are no fun to look at, so. And choice words being used from Scott. I will say the reserves for tonight: Hedgehog replacing Fandango, Mark Wilson replacing Mazzles, Christopher in the Haas replacing Mark, Riordan in the Williams replacing Digweed, Knight in the AlphaTauri replacing JB Bowie, and Cyril Nathan will be in the pits, followed by Knight, followed by Jay Lawler, and pretty much everyone else in the grid if you're a medium runner, unless your name is Hedgehog, who is a madman and decided to stay out. And we'll see a lot of action now in the pits. Mark Wilson coming in 3rd, and AFL also staying out ahead of Cyril Nathan JB, crucially for AJ Wuhan. But bear in mind, AJ Wuhan is on used hard, so I'm not entirely surprised he stayed out. Don't think it's worth commentating much over, so I will go silent for a bit. I will say, talking like this makes my throat go hurt. I am hurting at the moment in terms of my throat. Having to forcibly stay quiet and enthusiastic is painful. I'm sorry for the lack of commentating at the moment. It is agonizing to watch 3 laps of safety cars go around this track. This track especially, since it's very long and it's very unentertaining. 9 laps in the Belgian Grand Prix. I beg it's in this lap. If it isn't, I'm probably gonna go insane. But we have Hedgehog leading from AJ Wuhan, from Mark Wilson, from AFL, from Nathan JB, Ariel Knight, KXI, Vipers Ken, Jay Lawler, Dale DC, Evans Joshua, CJ Keane, Franco, Jack Pretty, Christopher and Hobbsy. 4 DNFers so far. 9 laps in. And we'll take a look at the tyres situation. The top 4 have not pitted on 16th. Under this safety car, they did not pit. As for penalties, we'll have AFL, who has a pre-second, as well as Jay Lawler. As we now see the safety car come in, thankfully, we'll have Hedgehog leading the restart, followed by AJ Wuhan. AJ Wuhan will be wanting to pull away from the rest of the pack, but unused hards, will he make it to the end? That is the question. Apologies for yawning, but it's been a long day, folks. Detuning right now, trying to relax, but these drivers won't, and for my entertainment, I'll probably have a laugh at them after. As Hedgehog now, he'll lead the restart, and he gets a much better restart than AJ Wuhan, catching him off guard, almost getting him by a second, does Hedgehog. As Mark Wilson follows behind, and AFL as well, as a top from 2nd to 5th got a okay restart. Rel Knight losing out 1.6 seconds to the cars in front of him, so something must have happened. As we see around Nathan JB, he's going to fly past the 2 cars of Mark Wilson and AFL as they go side by side. Will they keep it clean? Yes, they will. The tier 4 drivers of HRL, they'll keep it clean, but Hedgehog won't. He goes for a spin, off for a day in the park, And now Nathan JB will set off after AJ Wuhan and the older hards. Now it'll be interesting to see, will AJ Wuhan start pulling, or will Nathan JB be on the offensive? And my answer is now given, as we see Nathan JB absolutely attack some of these corners, catching up massively to the Red Bull driver. But we'll have to pay attention to the back of the grid now, as we'll see Franco and Christopher going side by side. Did Christopher lose another wing? And we see Franco pitting, and he retires from the session. Please do not bring out a safety car. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to go insane. As we see HRL AJ Mahon go for the pits. Unsurprisingly enough. He'll come out on the mediums, so he'll have fresher mediums to the end. But will it be enough to catch out Nathan JB? I'm not sure. As HRL Knight isn't rightfully third. Still behind Mark Wilson, so what happened there? As lads and ladies, we're probably going to have to look at another 3 agonizing laps of the safety car. As words are being thrown about in the Discord, probably best not to mention it on stream, as I'll probably receive a lifetime ban in HRL. Not my intention. We'll have 5 DNFers at this current rate of time. No, again, I'm sorry for the silence, but it's really hard to talk about something and do this at the same time without going silent. It is difficult for me. I do apologize, and to the people that are watching, I do apologize that you're having to see this. It's not one of those things you want to see. Still 4 people watching alongside me. Hello. If you're just tuning in, we've had 6 laps of safety car. We're approaching 9 laps of safety car. We've had many position changes, many DNFs so far, as we're over halfway through the race. And to be honest, it's been exciting and very uninteresting at times. I believe the safety car is coming in now, so we might be back under racing, but for how long? Zero Nathan JB once again leads the restart, followed by Mark Wilson and Oriel Knight. Will these two overcome Nathan JB, or will Nathan JB handle the pressure? We will wait and see, as Nathan JB weaving his tyres, trying to get energy into the tyres as we restart now over an overcast track. Zero Nathan JB gets a brilliant restart, and Mark Wilson getting an average restart, but Oriel Knight not getting the best of restarts either. Evans Joshua though, he gets a brilliant restart as he gets past KXI and Vipers Ken. KXI spinning off the restart. Zero DC and others making up the positions. As we see now, Oriel Knight, will he go for the move on Mark Wilson, as he's had to back out there just to try and save the car, try and not hit the back of Mark Wilson. And now he gets past Mark Wilson and he'll set after Nathan JB. But can Oriel Knight do anything about Nathan JB and his medium pace? I doubt it, folks, due to him being on the harder compound. But Evans Joshua now, he's had a lot of trouble in this race, especially in qualifying, but now he has a chance to really make a difference, to really pull it back. As we see Evans Joshua now, he'll be trying to get past the likes of of Mark Wilson, but not able to do so yet, as there's movement down the back, and Hobbsy, he crashes. Hopefully it doesn't bring out a safety car. I'd be fuming. And Mark Wilson now giving up the position to Vipers Ken. Oh no, other way around. Vipers Ken giving up the position to no, he's moving out of the way for Evans Joshua. Okay. As Vipers Ken's now, he's going to fight Jay Lawler. Jay Lawler gets past Vipers Ken. Quick and easy move for Jay Lawler. As Zero, I think Nathan sets the fastest lap, but prove me wrong. As we see now, Evans Joshua, he's going to set after Oriel Knight. Oriel Knight, he is on the harder compound tyres. And Evans Joshua, he is on a man on a mission at the moment, trying to come back and try and make a difference. As we see Cyril Nathan JB, or AJ Wuhan, he's all over the back of KXI. KXI defending hard, KXI on the slower, harder compound. And Cyril Nathan JB, will he go for a move? He'll go from the inside. They're going to go side by side to this next section corners. They're still going to go side by side. They make a little bit of contact, but that is obvious, as Nathan, Jacob, he'll have to cut to the inside a little bit. They're still going side by side through No Name. KXI on the outside. Cyril H and AJ Wuhan on the inside, and taking the position off KXI. That was brilliant battling, but now we get back to the top now. Evans Joshua with a chance to overtake Oriel Knight before the end of the lap. But will he, or will he hang back? Time will tell, folks. Zero real DC all over the back of Viper's Ken, as he's lost a little bit of time coming out that exit. So I'm gonna stick on board with Evans Joshua. Evans all over the back of Knight, but he's gonna have to stay put for now, which is probably the wisest course of action. But them two might be playing DRS games. I am not sure. We do not know how powerful the DRS is around Belgium. As it looks like, Evans in Carlos Sainz's Ferrari will hang back and try and get the overtake done down the Camel. And using every ounce of track to get past. And it's a straightforward pass. Not surprising in the very slightest, as the Welshman now sets after the Brit of Nathan JB. And we see now Jack Pretty getting past CJ Keane. CJ Keane losing a whole heap of positions. As AJ Wuhan, he's going to want to get past CJ Keane after losing so many positions. I think he's eager, but he's going to have to be patient. As there's already a yellow flag, Hedgehog spins again, losing his front wing. That is unfortunate for the Brit and the hosts of the league. As HRL Nathan, AJ Wuhan now, he's made a position ahead of CJ Keane, playing maximum damage limitation at this point. Mark Wilson ahead of a spinner. I think it's Vipers. That's unfortunate for Vipers, but Mark Wilson now with 9 positions gained. Not a bad race so far for him, as AJ Wuhan is making quick and easy work of these drivers so far. But there's also another fight ahead in the form of Real DC and Mark Wilson. I'm going to watch from AJ Wuhan's perspective, as them two are going to go side by side. No, they won't. Mark Wilson proceeds to pit, and Real DC leading AJ Wuhan. Won't be surprised if DC lets Wuhan pass. As there's more action down the field, as well, they all get past Mark Wilson, so I'm not surprised there. And now up through Camel, DRS wide open, will be another straightforward pass for AJ Wuhan, as he finally gets back into the top 5, 3 positions down from his original starting position. Has 4.6 seconds of time to try and catch up back to Jay Lawler, and that'll be a tough ask, knowing Jay Lawler's pace. Laps are running out, folks. 7 laps remaining, including this one. As CKXI getting very loose on the exit, and CJ Keane retires. He puts it into the wall. Oh, that might be an incident that has to be looked into. As for I will not say anything, as I might offend a few people. But I can guarantee I'm not happy. As the next set of pit stops arrive, I suspect everyone will be going on to the softs, and if you don't, you're probably crazy. Christopher, you're crazy. AFL going back onto another pair of softs as we approach lap 17 of 22. Okay, as the pit stop seems to have finished and the cars are now bunching up, Nathan JB leads from Evans, who now has the chance to attack Nathan. Oriel Knight again in the chance for a win. Christopher on the hards, interestingly enough, didn't pit. Jay Lawler on the softs. AJ Muhan on the softs too. We'll make it easy on myself. See who is on the sauce and who is not, and you have your answer there. One hard runner, one medium runner. Lads and ladettes, it will be a crazy ending, I feel. Probably a lot of DNFs coming our way, and probably a lot of complaining afterwards, but that is racing, lads and ladies. We will have questionable moments, as we'll have a 3-lap shootout to the end. Lads and ladies, it's been a fairly uneventful one, but still a league that I'm proud to commentate over. Oriel Knight and Jay Lawler accidentally swapping positions. Hopefully they won't have to. Oh, how unfortunate. Come on. Jay Lawler, please give the position back if you're hearing this. And he does so successfully. So a very clear understanding of who's in the wrong and who isn't. Very good for the two racemen. So we're waiting for the safety car to come in. Lap 19 will be the starting lap. No more safety cars until then. It will be a straight fight until the end. Hopefully a clean fight, and hopefully a fight to remember. Jay Lawler has retired from the session. Oh my god. What have you done, son? That makes 7 DNFers. Knight, after all that effort trying to get the position back, well, is rival DNFs. How unfortunate. As the safety car has now come in, the Williams again leading the restart for a final time, unlike in Monza today. He'll be leading. And now Nathan Will he go for an exit at the corner? No, he won't. And Evans, he spun. And now, off for a restart, he goes for the final time. Oriel Knight has the potential to win the race, but so does AJ Wuhan. Will they force a move? No, they won't. Not just yet. But Oriel Knight now, he has the potential to attack down the Camel Straight. And if I were him, I should. But so does AJ Wuhan. AJ Wuhan is closer than Oriel Knight is to Nathan JB. And now, will we see these two go side by side? No, yes we will, yes we will. AJ Wuhan down the inside, no he won't, he'll have to back out just for a little bit. And Ariel Knight keeps the position for now as there's action through the midfield as Real DC takes the position back from Jack Pretty after Jack Pretty had got a moment of oversteer. Mark Wilson making the most of it as Mark Wilson closes the door aggressively on Jack Pretty. That's unfortunate for the man himself. But Hedgehog now having to battle Evans Joshua coming back strong. Obviously not in contention for the win just yet, but these three up close are the ones I want to keep an eye on. Knight with a penalty, so it will be a guaranteed second place if AJ Wuhan keeps it clean on track and if the race ended right now. But it is still all to play for at the moment. As we see the cars now come through the third sector, flat out through this next set of corners. These cars on their lowest possible fuel. Okay, maybe not, but due to the safety car, but that's besides the point. Anyways, we'll see Knight 6 tenths behind, almost 7 tenths behind Nathan JB, as Nathan JB sets the fastest lap of the race of 45.8. 2 seconds off his pole time, 3 seconds even. As we see AJ Wuhan surprisingly losing a lot of time to Oriel Knight. Oriel Knight showing great pace, more desperate to try and keep third place, but will it be impossible, or will it be possible in 2 laps? I do not know. As AJ Wuhan is closing in significantly through the Camel, how will he fare up in the second sector where it's all about downforce? I do not know, ladies and gents, but there's another yellow flag in the form of Josh, who has spun again. Unfortunate for the Welshman, but that is how it is sometimes. And I'm going to pay attention to these two up front. These two haven't been hammer and tong exactly, but Josh has retired, unfortunately. But like I said, these two haven't been hammer and tong all race, but now is the chance to go hammer and tong. These two on 20% ERS, that is separating them at the moment. We see Oriel Knight burning away his ERS, trying to catch up to Oriel Knight, Cyril Nathan JB. We have 2 DNFers in the space of 1 lap. We have 12 runners remaining, 11 even. So unfortunate for them. But now we enter the penultimate lap. Oriel Knight being led by Nathan JB by only 3 tenths. He has a chance to take it all through this straight. And if I were Knight, yes, I would take it all. Yes, I would burn everything, because this may be the only chance you get to overtake the man, myth, legend himself, Nathan JB. But also JB, he has a lot of DRS to spare. As now DRS is now wide open. Nate off the ERS, but he's going to commit, he's going to commit. He down the inside, Knight goes. Nathan JB giving up the position, not using much ERS. But there's now a straight fight between AJ Wuhan and Nathan JB. And to be honest, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. It's going to be very intense throughout these closing stages of the races. I say a straight fight, but well, I don't see a fight anymore. How unfortunate. But these drivers still can't scrap for the race position. I still would, for pride and joy, say that you won on track. as these drivers separated so close to each other. It's unbelievable. 3 blue cars leading from each other, and we might see a move with Mark Wilson and Christopher. I think we will, as Christopher has wing damage side by side, and Christopher and Mark Wilson go. And it's a clean textbook example, but no, Christopher's fighting back. He's adamant to keep the position, even though he has wing damage. Very interesting stuff, but I'm gonna have to stick with the front now, as these guys have entered their final laps now. 3/10 is all that separates Knight and Nathan. Will Knight defend hard? I assume so, of course he will. And will AJ Wuhan go for the move on Oriel Knight? Oriel Knight on the outside, and will try and go for the move on AJ Wuhan. The two are going to go side by side. AlphaTauri versus Red Bull. Red Bull versus AlphaTauri. Will Knight go for a move in the inside? Yes, he will. He thought about it, but had to back out late due to AJ Wuhan closing the door. And I think, lads and ladies, that might be the end of it, unless there's a mistake. As I'm gonna look at these two, fine, scrap it out. And we'll look at Mark Wilson now, try and attack Christopher. But these lads are now entering the last sector now, and Nathan dominating is all I can say. Controlled it from pretty much lap 1 until the end here. No penalties, probably 1 or 2 warnings, but still just warnings, no penalties. Nathan JB will come across the line and will win in Belgium in HRL Season 6. Congratulations and commiserations. Oh, surprise, 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 surprise. Real DC. He's taken the podium away from AJ Wuhan. Or second place away from AJ Wuhan, and taking podium away from Oriel Knight. What a pleasant surprise. I did say he was going to be on the podium at the very start, and he has done exactly that. Jack Pretty come across the line, so does Mark Wilson, and Hobbsy now, he'll be the last one to start to cross the line. Oh no, I take that back, it will be AFL. So we look at the cars now. As we finally put an end to this horrific track and its safety cars. That has been the end of the Belgian Grand Prix. Huh. I mean, wow. That is, some race to commentate. We have your top 3 here. And here is your final race rundown. 3 Brits on the podium and a Canadian in 4th. So clearly the Brits are showing their domineering personality over the Canadians. So have the final look at the final rundown. Lads and ladies, if you enjoyed that, please tune in HRL next week. I probably won't be commentating, and hopefully less safety cars. But lads and ladies, it's been Liam Carrig. Have a good night. God bless.